If you want fresh, healthy hair that makes you instantly attractive, it's not about products and methods you use, but rather 10 simple hair tricks. Ignoring these will leave your hair dry, patchy, and damaged. Your products and routines will be wasted, and you'll never reach your glow-up potential. But don't worry, Glowup Guy doesn't gatekeep. So let me tell you the first hair trick. Most guys copy what they see online without understanding what their hair actually needs. For example, your boy might use shea butter and coconut oil, and their hair looks amazing. But when you use the exact same products, your hair feels stiff, greasy, and just dry. Now, this isn't bad luck. You just have a different hair porosity. Porosity is how easily your hair absorbs and holds moisture. It's determined by how open or closed your hair cuticles are. Think of your hair strands like roof tiles. Low porosity means the tiles lay flat and tight, and water runs right off. However, high porosity means those tiles are lifted, allowing water to soak in fast, but also leak out just as fast. Here's how you find your hair porosity. Take a clean strand and drop it in a glass of water. If it floats, you have low porosity. Your cuticles are tight and repel moisture. If it sinks slowly or stays in the middle, you have medium porosity. And if it sinks fast, you have high porosity. Your cuticles are open. Here's why this is so essential. Low porosity hair needs light, water-based products like jojoba or almond oil. Stay away from heavy oils like coconut and shea butter. These will close your already tight cuticles even more. That's why your hair might always feel dry, even when you use these heavy products. However, high porosity hair is the opposite. Your cuticles are too open, so you need heavy sealants like castor oil, argan oil, and shea butter to lock that moisture in and give your hair structure. Without them, moisture escapes and your hair quickly returns to being dry. You see, if you don't know your porosity, you're just guessing what products to buy and wasting your time and money. That's why I made this free hair guide linked below, so check it out after this video. But even if you buy the right products, if you're applying them in the wrong order, you're still locking in dryness instead of moisture. Here's what most guys do. They apply oil or shea butter to dry hair thinking it's moisturizing, but oils and butters don't hydrate. They're sealants. They lock in whatever is already there. So if your hair is dry and you put oil on top, you've just sealed in that dryness. It's like putting a lid on an empty cup. That's why if you're like me and have low porosity hair, I recommend using the LCO method. Let me explain. L is for liquid, like water or water-based leave-in conditioner. C means cream. You can use a curl cream or a moisturizing cream for the second step. And finally, O means oil. For this step, I only use light oils like jojoba or almond oil. But why should you apply products in this order? Well, our low porosity cuticles are closed tight, and water is the only thing small enough to get in and hydrate. Then the cream adds moisture on top of that water. Then the oil seals it all in. If you put oil in first, you're locking the door before water even gets a chance to enter. I like to think of it like this. Your hair is a closed door. Water is the key that opens it. Then the cream walks through and delivers the moisture. And finally, the oil locks the door behind. But what if you have high porosity hair? Well, I recommend using the LOC method. L equals liquid and O equals oil. But this time, use heavier oils like castor, argan, or coconut oil. And then C equals cream. Use thicker creams or butters like shea butter. I recommend following this order because your high porosity cuticles are already open. Water easily gets in, but also escapes fast. So you need oil right after water to patch those gaps and create a barrier. Then you add cream on top to lock everything in, as well as adding extra weight and structure. Think of your hair like a roof with gaps. Water gets in through the openings but leaks out. So the oil patches the gaps and creams adds a protective layer on top to hold everything in place. Trust me man, this hack is the difference between healthy, shiny hair versus hair that looks dull and feels like straw. Alright, so you got the right products and you're finally using them correct. But here's the thing, if your scalp is covered in old product, none of that moisture is getting absorbed. That's why you need this next trick. If you only shampoo once, you're not cleaning your scalp. You're just moving dirt around. You see, that first wash removes the surface layer of dirt, oil, sweat, and product sitting on top of your hair and scalp. But underneath that, there's still buildup stuck to your scalp and clogging your follicles. One wash, doesn't reach that. That's why you need a second wash. This is when you actually cleanse. The first shampoo lather breaks everything down, and the second penetrates and cleanses. A lot of guys think shampooing twice strips their hair, but that's only true if you're using harsh sulfate shampoos. I use gentle sulfate-free ones, and 2 washes is perfect. I've linked all products I use down below, as well as in my free hair tricks guide. Clean hair is the only hair that can absorb moisture, so if your scalp is clogged with buildup, it doesn't matter how good your products are, they'll always just sit on top. But if you have short hair, or use pomade or gels to get waves or style your hair, here's a trick to accelerate your gains. Pomades give you hold and shine, but it's oil-based and heavy, so if you apply it directly to dry hair, it's gonna sit on top and suffocate your scalp. Remember, our scalp is skin, it needs to breathe. So here's what you do instead. Apply a water-based moisturizer first, then a small amount of a light oil like jojoba or almond oil, then finally your pomade on top. This way, your hair remains moisturized while the gel or pomade sits on top and gives you the hold and shine you want. Your scalp can still breathe and your hair stays healthy. Alright, so we've covered Glowup Guy's foundational hacks: porosity, product order, double cleansing, and layering. A lot of guys destroy their hair daily with how they're styling, and that's where hack number 5 comes in. Now, I'm going to talk about a really popular device, but honestly, I've got a really hot take. Curl sponges are terrible for your hair. Let me explain. A curl sponge is designed to create friction and twist your hair into curls. But if your hair is dry when you use it, you're risking permanent damage. This is because dry hair is brittle, so when you add friction, you're gonna get breakage. Also, hair sponges absorb moisture. All that hard work and products will be removed by the sponge while you're styling, leaving you with rough, frizzy, undefined curls that just won't last. So instead, use a racket comb on damp, moisturized hair. Before you style, lightly mist your hair with water mixed with leave-in conditioner or curl cream. The moisture activates the products in your hair and allows the racket comb to glide smoothly without breaking your strands. You get cleaner, more defined curls that are gonna last longer without frizz and breakage. Remember this: dry hair plus friction equals breakage. Damp hair plus product equals curl definition. That's what we want. And bro, with these 5 tricks, you're instantly gonna be looking on point. But trust me, I'm just getting started. These next 5 gems are gonna permanently transform your hair. Starting with trick number 6, a proven fix for patchy or a thinning hairline. It's the active ingredient in Rogaine, minoxidil. It's FDA approved and scientifically proven to stimulate hair follicles and promote growth. So if you're over 18 and have thinning hair, I recommend trying it out. You apply it twice daily to the areas you want to grow. It takes 6 to 12 months to see full results, but it works. Like, I've even used it to grow out my beard. But you don't want to stop there. To boost the results, you want to add this. It's a derma roller and has tiny needles. You roll it over your scalp once a week with a 0.5mm needle. This creates micro piercings that boost collagen production and increase blood flow. It also helps your skin absorb minoxidil as well as the other products better. Here's the process. Derma roll once a week, wait 24 hours, then apply minoxidil twice daily like normal. But if you want an even faster hairline hack, you can use a beard dye brush to fill in faint areas. However, do your research on side effects before you start. Minoxidil is medical grade, not natural, so some guys experience dryness, irritation, and other side effects. Anyway, while you're waiting for the growth to come, you're still gonna need to make sure your hair looks as good as possible right now. And that starts with this next hack that most guys still sleep on. Let's be real, regular conditioner sits on the surface of your hair for 2 to 3 minutes and rinses out. It gives you surface level moisture that evaporates by day 2. That's not enough moisture for our black curly hair. Now, deep conditioner is thicker and packed with more moisturizing ingredients, but the real hack is when you pair it with heat and time. If you leave it in for 15 to 30 minutes under a hooded dryer or heat cap, on my days, it's gonna take you to a new level. But why do we need heat? Well, it opens your hair cuticles, and when they're open, moisture finally penetrates deep into your hair shaft instead of just sitting on top. This is essential if you have low porosity hair because our cuticles are naturally tight and closed. Do this every single wash day, not sometimes, every time, to unlock soft and manageable hair. But if you want to speed up your growth even more, this next trick is backed by science. It only takes 2 steps and less than 5 minutes to do. Now, your scalp needs blood flow to deliver oxygen and nutrients to hair follicles, and most of the time we're standing or sitting upright, so blood doesn't flow to to our scalp as well as it does to the rest of our body. Scalp massagers fix that. When you massage your scalp, you're manually increasing blood flow to the area. More blood flow means more nutrients delivered to your follicles and faster, thicker growth. So do this for 5 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. Use your fingertips and apply medium pressure in circular motions all over your scalp. Now add rosemary oil. Studies show it can actually be as effective as minoxidil for promoting hair growth. It's natural, smells good, and works. Apply a few drops to your fingertips and massage into your scalp. But what I like to do is add a little rosemary oil directly to shampoo and other products, so you get the benefits passively every time you wash. However, none of this matters if you're not protecting your progress. And guess what? This next tip does more than just protect. It actually trains your hair over time. Getting protective styles like box braids, mini twists, or cornrows aren't just for protection. Over 6 to 12 months of consistent use, they literally train your hair to be more stretched out. It's because when your hair is in a protective style, it's in a stretched position for weeks. This causes your curl pattern to loosen. For example, if you have 4C hair, it will start looking more like 4B, and getting those loose twist out curls will become easier. You now have less shrinkage and more visible length that's easier to manage with less tangles. I recommend keeping protective styles in for 4 to 6 weeks, then take them out, wash your hair, and rest for around a week or 2, then repeat. You don't want to wear protective styles for longer than 8 weeks, or your hair and scalp can weaken or begin to knot together. Also, try out different styles. Don't just do one style back to back. Try box braids, mini twist, cornrows. This rests your scalp and prevents any tension breakage in your hairline. I also like to deep condition every 2 to 3 weeks, and within this time frame, consistently use the LCO or LOC method. But this last hack is the biggest myth in the glow up space. And if you're still believing it, you're sabotaging everything in this video. If you've been told leaving your hair dirty and natural helps it grow, or you need to keep in protective styles for 3 or 4 months without washing, you've been lied to. Here's the truth. Dirty hair does not grow faster. Low manipulation hair grows faster. If you've ever heard this, here's where the confusion comes from. People noticed their hair retained more length when they wore protective styles, so they assumed it was because they weren't washing the hair as often. But that's literally not why. The reason is low manipulation. When your hair's in a protective style, you're not combing, styling, or pulling on it every day. That's what retains length, not the natural dirt. Here's what actually happens when you don't wash. After 6 to 8 weeks without shampooing, products build up in dead skin cells to just clog your hair follicles. These clogged follicles reduce your growth, and your scalp gets inflamed. Even worse, if you keep a protective style in for 3 or 4 months without washing, your hair gets extremely dry. And when you finally take it down, you just see massive breakage because your hairs were starved of moisture the entire time. So instead, wash your regular hair every 1 to 2 weeks. Adjust based on your porosity. High porosity hair can go a bit longer. However, low porosity needs more frequent washing. And if you're in a protective style, wash only your scalp every 2 to 3 weeks. Use a spray bottle of water shampoo and applicator nozzle, and then apply directly to your scalp. You can even scrub gently with a clean toothbrush and rinse. Don't soak the rest of your hair or you just mess up your braids. Trust me bro, if you follow these 10 tricks, your hair will be turning heads. Remember to check out the free guide I linked below and comment your thoughts and what else you need help with. Let's keep glowing up.